What's up guys, Gumi coming back at you with another shotgun video, and I am so excited to bring you this one today because finally, the double barrel has gotten a little bit of love. Not a lot of love, but a little bit of love, enough to make it worthwhile and definitely worth checking out. A lot of you might be thinking, what do you mean finally got some love? It's been overpowered for a while. Well, no, it was overpowered with the akimbo setup and the sawed-off barrel, but really not anymore. It's actually pretty bad, and I would argue one of the worst guns you could possibly use in all of Warzone. And there's a few reasons for that. Even though it had the sawed-off barrel, which is still decent, it had its own issues. But now, if you like shotguns, if you like being an accurate player and hitting your shots while aiming down sights with a shotgun, this is going to be a go-to shotgun to use. It is so much fun. I've been having a blast using this thing on Rebirth. It is just insanely fun and so much better than it was, and very, very consistent now, which is really good. So what exactly changed? Is it really good? Is it even better than the 725 now? Well, I'm gonna get into all of that right now. So what's the deal, Gumi? What's changed and why are you so excited about it? Well, to be honest with you, not really much has changed, but there is one thing that changed, and that one little thing is actually making a huge difference for this gun and why I think you should use it now. First of all, before this update, the shotguns were pretty bad for Vanguard, especially the double barrel, which, like I said, is probably one of the worst guns to use. But recently, Raven Software decided to go and give the damage buff to all the shotguns from Vanguard and Warzone across the board. But in my last two videos, I confirmed that for the Einhorn, it did get a damage buff. For the combat shotgun, it did not get one. And for this one, the double barrel, I can confirm it did get one, but only for one particular barrel, and that is the defender barrel. So this video is basically going to cover that defender barrel, because now you can actually two-shot with that barrel with body shots. I know, let's just soak it in for a moment that the double barrel can actually two-shot with something besides the sawed-off barrel. You might be thinking to yourself, what's the big deal? I mean, it's a double barrel, shouldn't it be able to two-shot? Yeah, it should, but the problem is that before this update, it really didn't unless you were using the sawed-off barrel, because all the other barrels you had to hit headshots to get any two-shot kills, which was just so dumb to me. It's a double barrel. I mean, point blank in the stomach and you're not dying in two shots. That's just kind of ridiculous to me. But now, with the defender barrel, you actually deal 128 damage per shot. And of course, two shots, that puts you at 256 health, which means that's enough to kill in those 250 health game modes. Before this update, really the only way to make this gun work was by using the sawed-off barrel, because you could actually two-shot players effectively. Now I can confirm that's not the case, and the defender barrel is probably the better of the two barrels, and I'll give you some reasons why. The first big issue with the sawed-off barrel is that it hurts your accuracy by quite a bit. Now, yes, accuracy is still a thing in this game for shotguns specifically. What does it do? Well, accuracy determines how tight your aim down sights pellet spread is, and it does in fact actually play a part in it. Some people are telling me it doesn't, but it does. I can confirm, and I'll show you some pictures, that this is basically the base sawed off, and then this is with max accuracy without using the choke. So the choke would help even more, but with max accuracy, it's going to help a lot. But in the end though, this sawed off barrel is still going to have issues at longer ranges getting those two-shot kills because of the spread, and it's going to be more reliant on just kind of luck and random RNG, because it's just pellet spread that's random, right? With the defender barrel, even though you do lose a little bit of accuracy, using these accuracy attachments can really help bring it back, and it makes a huge difference. I mean, just take a look at the spread on this thing when you have it kit out for accuracy. That's a pretty good amount of spread, and that's really the key here, is to focus on accuracy. Just like with the sawed-off build, you want to focus with accuracy, but with this particular build, you can two-shot up to about 9.5 meters, so I would say use this barrel instead, because that accuracy really does help. So let's take a look at the build that I recommend. First off, we have the defender barrel. That's pretty much my favorite barrel now. Then we have the full choke, which is pretty much mandatory, and that helps alleviate some of that accuracy penalty we get from that barrel. Then for the stocks, we have the Wilkie Marksman, which is going to help with accuracy and aim down sight speed. Gung Ho is always my perk of choice for this, but you can use discard. That's another great perk, because whenever you fire two shots and you have an empty clip or magazine or tube, then this will help you reload a little bit faster, and it does actually help, but I still prefer dealing with the slower reload and just using Gung Ho instead, so I can focus on accuracy, because you'll notice a lot of these accuracy attachments will hurt your sprint to fire speed, which is a big no-no. So next we have perk 2, which is quick. Then we have the leather grip for the rear grips, which is for aim down sight speed, and then this strife angled grip for accuracy. Notice I'm not using a magazine or ammo type. really, there's no reason to use any of them. I feel like the base type is totally fine for the magazine attachments. 16 gauge hurts your damage, and double aught takes, I think, 2 pellets away and doesn't really give you any more of a benefit, so it's not worth it. And the ammo types, none of them are really that great. You could use pack powder, but I like having a little bit faster aim down sight speed. So really, I would just say just use the base ammo type and the base magazine. There's really no need to use anything else. Also, you could use an optic if you want, use a slate custom, because that gives you a little bit more accuracy, which means a tight pellet spread, but it's not necessary. And this barrel, unlike the sawed-off barrel, actually has that little nub so you can aim effectively with it. Now for my thoughts on this gun and comparing it to the 725. As you all know, the 725 with the sawed-off barrel is extremely consistent. It's a great hip fire and aim down sights build. The problem with that compared to this one is that you don't have as much range. It basically extends to about 4.5 or 4.6 meters, which is still great, and it's so consistent with hip fire. It's still a really great shotgun. I recommend trying it out if you haven't. But with this one, if you're more of that kind of precise sharpshooter kind of guy and you like aiming down sights with your shotguns, this one is going to be the go-to now, I think, because you now have the range of the 410 Ironhide, basically, but it's consistent and it 2 shots to the body, which is amazing. So in all honesty, it depends on your playstyle. This one isn't great for hip firing. The double barrel from Vanguard is not a great hip fire shotgun. It will get you killed because it's very inconsistent, and if you miss any of those pellets, it's not going to get you that 128 damage, which means it's going to take 3 shots to kill. So I don't recommend that. I always recommend aiming down sights with this shotgun unless you're in real danger and you're just like point blank with someone. But for the 725, you can actually hip fire very effectively. So if you're more of a hip fire kind of guy, I would just stick with the 725. But if you like aiming down sights, this shotgun is so much fun and I definitely recommend it. And guys, that's just about gonna do it for this video. So I was really excited to bring this to you guys because I'm a big fan of double barrels. As you know, I love Doom. Doom 2 was the game that really got me just loving shotguns because it's just so badass. And it's nice to see that we have this gun actually functioning pretty well, even though it's a little unforgiving because of the reload speed and you have to aim down sights. It can be a little bit hard to use if you're new to the game, but I don't know what it was. I was using this thing. I have my new controller set up with back paddles. I have a wired connection now. Everything was just perfect. I was doing so well. I was surprising myself with the shots I was hitting. And this gun, man, it's just amazing. So I definitely recommend giving this build a try out now. Just focus on accuracy, use a defender barrel, and use gung-ho, and I promise you, you're gonna have a blast using this thing. But now I wanna know what you guys think of this shotgun. Have you noticed any other changes? I'm probably gonna have to cover the Gracie Auto next, which I'm not really looking forward to. But with all that being said, guys, I will see you in the next video.